Hi friends! Today we are going to check out the horse-drawn carriage rides at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. This is my first time staying at the resort, however it is not my first time visiting the resort. I typically stay just down the river bend at Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter. Alright, it looks like our horse and carriage have arrived. We are the first reservation of the night. It is actually getting dark here around 5:45 or so. So I thought it would be fun to see the resort and get the best of both worlds with a little bit of daylight left. And once it gets dark, all of the street lights and walkway lights are lit up. The buildings look really pretty with the lights on, so I thought it would be fun to get a little bit of both of those. I'm really excited. I've always seen these. I've never booked one. They are only $65. It can seat 4 adults or 2 adults and 3 children. Alright, and we're off. They're gonna take us on a little tour of the property, a little tour of the grounds. This resort is so beautiful. It is based off of rural Louisiana. It's a New Orleans bayou theme. And to my right here is the Sassagoula River. Both Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter are along the Sassagoula River. So you can actually ride a boat between the two. I will have to make my way down to French Quarter for some fresh beignets. They have the best beignets on Disney World property. If you were staying at Port Orleans French Quarter or Riverside, you are actually able to share the amenities between both resorts. Most resorts do not allow you to do that. However, these two are affiliated with each other, so you are able to double dip. But for now, we are just going to enjoy our carriage ride through the Riverside Resort. This time of day is honestly perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. I thought if we came just as it was turning to dusk, we would get to see everything still kind of lit up so that we were able to see. But with all the lights just now turning on, it looks so pretty. And it's going to get a little bit darker as we make our way back. Again, to the right of me is the Sassagoula River. If you want to visit Disney Springs while you are staying at either of these resorts, this is my favorite method of transportation. You can actually just hop on a boat. If you're staying at Riverside, it will take you past French Quarter and straight into Disney Springs. It has its own entrance, which is really fun. The views are so pretty along the way, and honestly, it beats waiting in line for a bus. In my experience, it's typically 15 minutes or so, usually between 10 and 15 minutes for a boat to show up if you just missed the last one, or if the boat is full, which can happen during busier times at Disney Springs, typically after everyone leaves the parks. So I would say normally in the evening is when you may have to wait a little bit longer for the boat, but it is still much faster than bus transportation, and we actually have a boat passing us now. That's really cute. Look where there's a boat. Everybody wave. Oh, this looks like an empty boat. Well, that's a bummer. That looks like an empty boat going to pick up the crowd of people waiting to head down to Disney Springs for the evening. This has been such a peaceful little stroll through the property. If you are the type of person to leave the park early, if you like to call it an early evening, this would be the perfect way to wind down after a busy park day. It's just so quiet. It feels like no one else is here. And it's only $65. This is our rest day. We have spent the day swimming and just kind of lounging around. So this was a really fun way to wrap it up. Tomorrow we have some other things planned. but this is so fun. When I stay at either of the Port Orleans resorts, I honestly forget that I'm at Disney sometimes. It feels so much like Southern Louisiana. There are little hints to Princess and the Frog around both of the resorts. It's not excessive theming, but it's just enough to remind you you are at Disney. We are strolling through the Magnolia Bend section of the resort. This is where you will find the royal guest rooms. They are Disney princess themed. They are so fun. I don't know about you, but my kids seem to be thrown off when we're on vacation with bedtime because their routine is different, and this worked like a gem. The baby is out. The only problem is it's 6 o'clock, and when my kids nap in the evening, they don't want to sleep at night. But it's fine. This has been so much fun. This was so peaceful. I loved seeing everything at daylight, and after it started to get a little bit dark, it was so beautiful. As always, I love the Port Orleans resorts. Riverside is a little bit bigger than French Quarter. French Quarter is the smaller of the two resorts, but we figured we would try it out. If you haven't noticed, we are visiting at Christmas time, so they have all of the beautiful Christmas decorations out. Christmas is my favorite time of year, so I'm really glad we chose to stay at this resort. They do have the carriage rides year-round, but it made it so much more magical visiting during Christmas and taking a nice little stroll through the property. They offer carriage rides nightly from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and they're only $65, which I think is such a great deal, but I want to thank you so much for watching this video with me. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Disney and Universal content, and if you've taken a carriage ride, let me know in the comments below.